Hello everybody, that one of the gamer here. I'm gonna make this quick since I have to sleep in 20 minutes, but I'm going to give you guys the best tip ever for grinding out platinum and arcanes in the next update, Whispers of the Wall, coming out the 13th of December. You ready? Do not, under any circumstance, even if someone is holding a gun to your head, sell your extra arcanes. Do not. Basically, Whispers in the Wall is coming, and if you don't know by now, even though you're watching this video, which maybe you found on your recommended stream, I don't know. If you're interested in knowing, essentially, Whispers of the Wall is coming, and with it becomes a new system for getting arcanes. Because DE realized that getting Eidolon arcanes are very useful and very difficult, and nobody wants to do Eidolon hunts, they just kind of said fuck it and let's it so that way you can turn extra arcanes you have into a currency which you can use to buy specific packs of arcane, which have the same drop table as like the Eidolon arcanes, which has, you know, Arcane Grace, Arcane Barrier, Arcane Energize, the 3 most expensive arcanes on the market. And so you'll definitely want to farm all of the like any arcane that's very easy to come by as much as you can. And my guess is that the rarer the arcane, right, the quote-unquote rarer it is, the more it's going to be worth. Which means if you want to go for like highest value to like cheapest to get, it's probably going to be the primary and secondary arcanes that you get from the acolytes. So yeah, that's really why you want to get arcanes. First thing I must say is there are some skeezy mofos out there on trade chat right now scamming the living hell out of anyone who will bite for their primary and secondary arcanes. I saw this one guy asking for a full trade of 21 arcanes for only 5 platinum. What a bitch. Second thing is I want to give you guys a general guide for how to get platinum and get really good arcanes. Start playing survival steel path fissures, any kind. Steel path, obvious, you want the arcanes, you get them basically every 5 minutes, and since they're a rare arcane technically, they're probably going to give you a decent amount of currency that you can use into rolling for other arcanes. But why survival and why fissures? The reason why we want it to be a survival is so that way we can get an infinite format that is very AFK farmable. And the reason we want to go with fissures is a specific thing that fissures do that is quite nice and handy, not for the arcanes, but just because, well, Steel Path is a very good resource for Kuva farming, and fissures are a very good resource of platinum. It is the fact that survival, fissures specifically, and any kind of infinite type, is able to give you drop chance boosters, resource boosters, money boosters like that, and they scale infinitely. It's safe to say that over time, you will just get more rewards, more Steel Path Essence, more resources, and a lot of money. Now, this doesn't really have to do with farming secondary and primary arcanes. If you really wanted to, you could just farm those naturally through Steel Path fissures normally with a crew. But the reason why I like doing it in survival is for the Kuva, for Rivens, and for the platinum. And because it's very easy to just set up shop in one corner of the map if you really want to and farm like that, or actually have an active playstyle and guard your position and control a zone. The only problem with this method is getting a frame that can scale well and that's fun and that you can play for like hours at a time, and that is not very heavy to invest in because I'm guessing most of the people here are not Steel Path ready. So all I say is that all the frames on this list only need 1 Forma and 1 Catalyst. And honestly, there are 5 really good choices on this list. There's Styanax, or Styanax as I like to say, and he's very simple and also very tanky. If you don't know how to play Styanax, then simply put, get his augment, tell Brozyme and Efficiency to go fuck themselves, tell Strength and Duration to ask Arnold Schwarzenegger for some help, and get an auto key that can press 4 every few seconds. He's simple, and you literally have to do nothing other than press 3, subsume Nourish onto his 1, press and then click that, and then press 4 and then refresh every few seconds. I'll put the build up on screen. In fact, I'll put all the builds up that I have and that I use for Steel Path on screen. Next up is Hydroid, very simple. In the same vein, is very simple. Just put Umbra on that bitch, tell range to sit back and relax, duration and efficiency to go up a little, and strength to just go up. Put strength into the atmosphere. Presses 4, presses 3, subsume his 1 or his 2 with any helmets you want, and get an AoE weapon. That's it. You will kill nearly everything. I recommend the Kuvazar. Next up is Harrow, and unlike the last two, this guy kind of requires your full attention to maintain. And sadly, you do need to know how to play him. I can't just give you a guide on that. But it's why I consider him fun, and why I feel like some people will resonate with him. Honestly, just build him for strength and duration, get a crowd control, shield gate with 3000 shields, and aim for the head, preferably with a minigun. Don't use a shot on him. That's very bad. I wouldn't recommend that. Next up is Lady Zephyr. Buff strength a little, tell duration to sit back and look pretty, and pray you don't get bombed. Press 4, get Magus Anomaly, a glaive, or use a Zaw with an Exodia Contagion, and then send all the Grineers stuck in a ball of their comrades into the Shadow Realm. Press 4, get, oh my god, what's it called? It's Wisps. It's Wisp helmets. I'll just put it on screen. That thing. Get an AoE melee and just shoot it into the ball of tornadoes. All I gotta say. And lastly, Protea. This is probably my favorite, but very difficult to get Protea. In the same vein as Harrow, you need to know how to play her, and also probably need to rebind your keys. She is the latest of my frames that become absolutely incredible to play with thanks to temporal erosion, and she is a bitch on your fingers. But she will also kill everything in the 9-mile straight line in front of you. So get Equilibrium, buff duration to hell and back, get Archon Vitality, and the best part about her is that you don't even have to use a weapon. Again, you can easily find several flaws in my choices, or find more capable frames like Korra, Octavia, Zaku, the list will go on. The problem with those frames is that they require a lot of investment, not just their augment, but also in your operator and specific arcanes, and possibly Archon shards, and also specific weapons. Just look at the build on my screen, a competent weapon and a Smita, and go out there. Don't get fucking scammed and beat some ass, Tenno. See you on December 13th.